Hi guys, in this tutorial I will create a kettlebell with Blender and texture it with 3D-Coat. I open Blender and the first thing I do is to create a sphere, a simple sphere, and I will cut the lower part here away. So I switch to edit mode, press the B key and just select these faces here. But I have to disable the limit selection to visible. And now delete the faces. Okay, so this model will be symmetrical. And I will delete the whole left part of this model to make use of the mirror modifier. But before I will turn this to smooth shading. Then return to edit mode, press the B key and select the whole left part of this model and delete it. Then switch again to object mode and add a mirror modifier. Now let's add the handle of this kettlebell, and therefore I will select these 4 faces here and remove them. And to make this look a little bit more rounded, I select here the vertices in vertex selection mode and scale first here in Z axis direction and then these 2 vertices in Y axis direction. Okay, and then I select here this edge and press E key to extrude out the handle. Always press E, then R to rotate, and again extrude and rotate all the way till we have this handle here. And of course the upper part has to be merged. The edges have to come together, and therefore I will enable the clipping option of the mirror modifier. You can see when I try now to bring them together, this doesn't work. I have to enable the clipping like that, and now they are perfectly merged. Okay, nice. I think I have to tweak some edges, but the basic shape is finished now. Okay, we have to fill this hole at the bottom. So switch to edit mode and select this edge loop here at the bottom and switch to 3D cursor for the pivot point. Press the E key, then the S key and then 0, and then it is filled. That's a nice trick for filling this. And after that I will select the edge loop again, press Ctrl B and add a small bevel for this edge loop. Okay, just 2 segments, I think that's enough. Now again switch to object mode and add a Sub Surface Modifier for this. The shortcut for this is pressing Ctrl 1 for one subdivision, or you could also do this manually here in the modifier panel. So there is one thing I would like to add, and this is a indentation in the middle part of the model. So I select these edges here and press Ctrl B to add a bevel, then come back to face selection mode, select these 6 faces and bring them in to have this nice indentation. Okay, I think I will export this model now as FBX. I don't apply the modifiers, they will be applied when exporting. And then I will import this to 3D-Coat for the texturing. Here is 3D-Coat 4.7 and I will open this in voxel sculpting mode and import the FBX for per pixel painting. I will also do an auto UV mapping. We will see how this will turn out. And the texture size I set to 2K. Give this UV map I will create now a name. And now let's see how this will look like. Yeah, quite nice. Switch to the UV room and see how this automatic UV mapping is done. Well, not bad, for it is an automatic UV unwrap. Not bad. So let's jump in directly into adding the smart materials. First I will add a simple steel material, perhaps with some scratches and stuff. So let's switch to the metals. And let's try this one. And the curvature is created automatically as always in 3D-Coat when we use PBR or smart materials. And now also the ambient occlusion. Yeah, and that's a nice material. I think I will go with this as a base material. So I will fill now the whole layer with this material. Choose fill whole layer. You could also open up the Smart Materials editor and tweak this material if you like. But I will leave this material as it is, and now I will add a black painted metal on a layer above. Call this black paint, and again I will fill the whole layer with this material. Yeah, great. This looks really awesome out of the box. But I think I will tweak this edge work a little bit. Open up the Smart Material editor. Just right click on this material and choose Smart Material Editor. And in this I will bring down the cavity modulator . Yeah, like this, and I will save this and again fill the whole layer using this tweaked material. Cool, and now I want to add a number 30 onto this model using an alpha. So I will open up Photoshop now and you can see this alpha. I defined 4 layers in this 512 to 512 pixel alpha. The first one is a transparent layer with a white text. The second one a gray layer, also with a white text for the height map. And then I have a pure white and a pure black layer. Okay, you can save this as PNG or as PSD, and then you come back to 3D-Coat and open texture file and select your PSD in this case, and here you have your alpha. Then select a brush, choose a material, but I disable the color for this material. I don't paint with color, I paint only with depth and with a gloss. Then I choose the steel layer to paint this in, and here we go. So this is already really cool, but I want to make this steel material visible for this number, and I will use the eraser, but disable the depth information, only the color, and erase out this black color using the eraser tool. I think there are a couple of methods to do this, but I choose this one because I think for this case this looks quite natural. And to finish this, I add a scratch layer above and use a scratch alpha, and add in some scratchy details. And then we're done. I think that's a nice model. I like it. I will export the textures out, and perhaps I will upload this to the Blender Market and make this available for you. And here is the final render, and I'm quite happy with this. So guys, I really hope you liked this tutorial. Please subscribe. Here is the button to subscribe to my channel. And I also added here a link to one of my other tutorials. So thanks a lot for watching, and come back soon.